Did you know that by the time most Americans hit their 40s, their bones and muscles are already starting to weaken? Even if they feel perfectly fine today, the foods you're eating every single week could be the difference between staying strong and active, or facing aches, weakness, and even fractures later on. Let's uncover the 5 powerhouse foods that can help you stay strong, mobile, and independent well into your 50s, 60s, and beyond. Before we start, don't forget to like and subscribe the video. When we cross the age of 40, our body begins to change in ways we often don't notice at first. Bone density gradually decreases, muscles lose strength, and recovery from daily strain becomes slower. This is not an illness, it's a natural part of aging. But the truth is, the food choices we make can either accelerate this decline or slow it down significantly. Today, I want to talk about 5 foods that can become your natural allies in building stronger bones and muscles as you move through this stage of life. The first food is leafy greens. After the age of 40, one of the most important things to understand is that bones are not static. They are living tissue, constantly breaking down and rebuilding. At this stage of life, the rebuilding process slows and the risk of bone loss begins to rise. One of the simplest yet most powerful ways to support bone density and long-term skeletal health is through the regular inclusion of leafy greens. Foods such as spinach, kale, collard greens, Swiss chard, and bok choy are among the richest natural sources of calcium, magnesium, and vitamin K, nutrients that serve as the backbone of bone health. Calcium provides the structure of bones. Magnesium helps regulate calcium balance and contributes to bone mineralization, while vitamin K supports the proteins that bind calcium into the bone matrix. Without these 3 working together, bones gradually weaken, leaving the door open for fractures and conditions like osteoporosis. Leafy greens are often overlooked because people think dairy is the only true source of calcium. The reality is that the calcium found in greens is highly bioavailable, meaning the body absorbs it efficiently, unlike some fortified foods that contain calcium in a form that passes through the body with little absorption. The calcium in kale or bok choy is recognized and utilized by the body more effectively. This means that a single serving of greens can go a long way toward meeting daily requirements. For individuals who may be lactose intolerant or avoid dairy for other reasons, leafy greens provide a natural and effective alternative that keeps bones supplied with what they need. Another strength of leafy greens is their role in reducing inflammation. After 40, the body's natural inflammatory responses become more noticeable, often manifesting as stiffness, joint discomfort, or delayed recovery after physical activity. The antioxidants in leafy greens, including vitamin C, carotenoids, and flavonoids, help counteract these inflammatory processes, indirectly supporting both bones and muscles. Chronic inflammation has been linked to accelerated bone loss, so consistently consuming greens can be a quiet but powerful defense. Beyond bones, muscles also benefit from leafy greens. Magnesium and potassium, both present in abundance in these foods, are critical for muscle contraction and relaxation. A deficiency in magnesium often shows up as cramps, weakness, or poor endurance. Potassium balances sodium in the body, helping to regulate fluid balance in muscles, reduce cramping, and sustain energy during physical activity. Together, these minerals work to ensure that muscles remain functional, resilient, and capable of supporting daily movement, whether that means climbing stairs, lifting groceries, or engaging in structured exercise. The fiber content in leafy greens also plays an important role in long-term health. Fiber supports digestion, but more importantly, it helps regulate blood sugar and body weight. Excess body weight adds stress to bones and joints, accelerating wear and tear, while unstable blood sugar can interfere with calcium absorption and hormone balance. A diet rich in leafy greens provides steady energy, fewer spikes and crashes, and helps prevent the type of metabolic imbalances that compromise both bone and muscle health. Leafy greens are also versatile and easy to incorporate into everyday meals. A salad made with kale or spinach, a smoothie with blended greens, or a side of steamed bok choy can be effortless additions to your diet. Cooking methods matter too. Light steaming can reduce oxalates that may interfere with calcium absorption, making nutrients even more accessible to the body. With regular inclusion in meals, these foods act as silent protectors, strengthening the skeleton and keeping muscles nourished at a stage of life when both need intentional support. The second food is fatty fish like salmon, sardines, and mackerel. Fatty fish take on a particularly important role once a person reaches the age of 40 and beyond. At this stage of life, bone density gradually begins to decrease, and muscle strength does not recover as quickly as it once did. Fatty fish such as salmon, sardines, and mackerel provide a rare combination of nutrients that specifically address these issues. They are among the best natural sources of vitamin D, a nutrient that is critical for bone health because it allows the body to absorb and utilize calcium. Without adequate vitamin D, calcium simply passes through the system without being deposited effectively into the bone matrix. This is one of the reasons why many individuals in midlife and older develop weakened bones despite consuming calcium-rich foods. A few servings of fatty fish each week can make the difference between calcium being wasted and calcium being stored where it truly matters. Another essential nutrient found in fatty fish is omega-3 fatty acids. Omega-3s are known for supporting heart and brain health, but their role in bone and muscle health is often underestimated. They help reduce chronic inflammation, which can otherwise accelerate the breakdown of bone tissue and interfere with muscle repair. After 40, many people notice longer recovery times after physical activity or more frequent aches and stiffness. This is partly due to low-grade inflammation that builds with age. By regularly eating fatty fish, the omega-3s work to calm this inflammation, allowing bones to maintain their density and muscles to recover more efficiently. This is especially important for preventing sarcopenia, the gradual loss of muscle mass associated with aging. Protein in fatty fish is another reason it should not be overlooked. Muscle fibers require constant repair, and as we age, protein becomes even more essential for maintaining strength. Unlike some sources of protein that are also high in unhealthy fats, fatty fish provides lean, high-quality protein along with beneficial fats. This dual benefit supports both bone integrity and muscle function. Adequate protein intake helps preserve lean muscle mass, which in turn supports balance, posture, and mobility, all of which protect bones from falls and fractures. In addition to vitamin D, omega-3s, and protein, fatty fish provide other minerals such as selenium and phosphorus. Phosphorus is critical for forming the mineral matrix of bones, while selenium acts as an antioxidant, protecting tissues from oxidative stress that contributes to aging. These nutrients create a synergistic effect, meaning they work together to strengthen the foundation of health rather than functioning in isolation. When combined with weight-bearing exercise, the nutrients from fatty fish can significantly enhance the body's ability to resist the decline in muscle and bone strength that typically occurs with age. What also makes fatty fish practical is its versatility in the kitchen. It can be grilled, baked, or added to salads, and even canned options like sardines provide the same powerful nutrients in a convenient form. For individuals who may not always get enough sunlight to naturally produce vitamin D, particularly in colder seasons or in regions with limited sun exposure, fatty fish becomes an even more critical part of the diet. By regularly consuming it, the body receives a steady supply of the building blocks it needs to maintain strong bones and resilient muscles throughout the later decades of life. The third food is beans and lentils, another food group that deserves a central place in the diet after the age of 40 is leafy green vegetables. These vegetables, including spinach, kale, collard greens, bok choy, and arugula, are often underestimated in their ability to support both bone and muscle health. While many people think of dairy products as the primary source of calcium, leafy greens provide a highly bioavailable form of this mineral, along with a wide range of other supportive nutrients. Calcium, as the cornerstone of bone strength, becomes increasingly critical as bone density naturally declines with age. Leafy greens ensure that calcium intake remains consistent, while also delivering magnesium, potassium, and vitamin K, all of which play synergistic roles in maintaining strong skeletal structures. Vitamin K, in particular, is an unsung hero for bone health. It is responsible for activating proteins that help bind calcium to the bone matrix, ensuring that the mineral is deposited into bones rather than being left to circulate or accumulate in soft tissues. Without adequate vitamin K, calcium may not be directed efficiently, potentially leading to weakened bones and increased risk of fractures. Leafy greens are among the richest natural sources of this nutrient, making them an indispensable food for individuals seeking to protect their skeletal system as they age. This becomes even more important because vitamin K is not as widely present in many other common foods. Beyond bone health, leafy greens also offer benefits for muscles. Magnesium, abundant in vegetables like spinach and Swiss chard, is vital for proper muscle contraction and relaxation. Many muscle cramps, stiffness, or fatigue that individuals over 40 experience can be traced back to insufficient magnesium levels. Including leafy greens regularly in meals helps maintain adequate magnesium stores, which translates to smoother muscle performance and better recovery after activity. Potassium, another mineral abundant in these vegetables, works to balance sodium in the body, reducing fluid retention and supporting both cardiovascular and muscular function. Together, magnesium and potassium create an environment in which muscles can operate at their peak, while protecting against unnecessary strain. Leafy greens are also packed with antioxidants, such as vitamin C, beta, carotene, and lutein. These compounds combat oxidative stress, which naturally increases with age and contributes to the breakdown of both bone and muscle tissues. By reducing this oxidative damage, leafy greens slow down the processes that accelerate aging in the musculoskeletal system. Additionally, they provide dietary fiber, which supports healthy digestion and ensures that the body efficiently absorbs and utilizes the nutrients consumed. Strong digestion is often overlooked, yet it is the foundation for the body's ability to benefit from calcium, magnesium, and other key minerals required for bone and muscle resilience. Another important consideration is that leafy greens are low in calories but nutrient-dense, making them an ideal food for maintaining a healthy weight. Excess body weight puts additional stress on bones and joints, increasing the risk of injuries and chronic pain. By incorporating leafy greens into daily meals, individuals can manage their weight more effectively while simultaneously nourishing their bones and muscles. Whether consumed raw in salads, lightly sautéed, blended into smoothies, or added to soups and stews, leafy greens offer versatility and variety that makes them easy to include regularly in a diet focused on long-term bone and muscle health. The fourth food is nuts and seeds, especially almonds, walnuts, chia seeds, and flaxseed. Another category of food that becomes increasingly valuable after the age of 40 is nuts and seeds. These small but nutrient-dense foods provide an impressive range of minerals, healthy fats, and plant-based proteins that directly support bone density and muscle strength. Almonds, walnuts, chia seeds, flax seeds, sunflower seeds, and pumpkin seeds are just a few examples that can easily be added to daily meals or snacks. What makes them particularly powerful for bone health is their high magnesium content. Magnesium works hand in hand with calcium, not only helping the body absorb and utilize calcium effectively, but also playing a role in converting vitamin D into its active form. Without adequate magnesium, the process of strengthening bones through calcium intake becomes inefficient, which is why nuts and seeds are an excellent complement to other calcium-rich foods in the diet. In addition to magnesium, nuts and seeds provide phosphorus, which is another mineral essential for forming the structural framework of bones. Phosphorus combines with calcium to create hydroxyapatite, the primary mineral complex that makes bones strong and rigid. As people age, ensuring an adequate intake of phosphorus alongside calcium becomes increasingly important to prevent the weakening of the skeletal system. Seeds such as pumpkin and sunflower seeds are particularly rich in this mineral, making them easy and effective options for maintaining skeletal integrity. For muscles, the role of nuts and seeds is just as vital. They contain plant-based proteins that help repair and rebuild muscle fibers, which is especially crucial after the age of 40 when natural muscle mass begins to decline. Protein from these sources is complemented by healthy unsaturated fats, particularly omega-3 fatty acids found in walnuts, flax seeds, and chia seeds. These fats reduce inflammation in muscle tissues and joints, promoting smoother movement and quicker recovery after physical activity. Reduced inflammation also means less discomfort from everyday activities, making it easier to stay active and protect muscle mass through exercise. Another nutrient provided by nuts and seeds is zinc, which supports tissue repair and helps regulate immune function. Zinc plays a subtle but important role in maintaining muscle health, as it assists in protein synthesis and cellular growth. At the same time, vitamin E, abundant in almonds and sunflower seeds, functions as a powerful antioxidant that protects both muscles and bones from oxidative stress. Oxidative stress accelerates the aging of cells, leading to weaker tissues and slower recovery. By including nuts and seeds regularly, the body is given the tools it needs to maintain resilience against these aging processes. Nuts and seeds are also highly practical foods to integrate into the diet. They require no cooking, are easy to carry as snacks, and can be sprinkled onto salads, blended into smoothies, or incorporated into oatmeal and yogurt. They also help with weight management because their combination of protein, fiber, and healthy fats provides lasting satiety, reducing the likelihood of overeating. Maintaining a healthy weight is essential for bone and muscle health because excess body weight places undue stress on joints and bones, while insufficient nutrition undermines muscle mass. Nuts and seeds strike a balance by offering concentrated nutrients in modest portions, ensuring that the body receives the minerals and energy it needs without unnecessary strain. Another food group that plays a crucial role in supporting bones and muscles after the age of 40 is dairy and fortified alternatives. Dairy products such as milk, yogurt, and cheese have long been recognized for their high calcium content, but their value goes far beyond just that single nutrient. Calcium is the primary mineral that gives bones their hardness and structural integrity, and by the time a person reaches midlife, the body becomes less efficient at absorbing it. This is why continuing to include calcium-rich foods becomes increasingly important. Yogurt, for example, not only provides calcium but also beneficial probiotics that aid in digestion, ensuring that the body can effectively utilize the nutrients being consumed. In addition to calcium, dairy products are one of the most reliable sources of vitamin D, especially when fortified. Vitamin D plays a central role in bone metabolism by helping the body absorb calcium and phosphorus, two minerals that are foundational to bone density. Without sufficient vitamin D, bones gradually become weaker, more brittle, and more prone to fractures. For those who live in areas with limited sunlight exposure, fortified dairy or plant-based alternatives such as soy milk and almond milk become essential in filling this nutritional gap. Ensuring a consistent intake of vitamin D through these foods allows calcium to perform its role effectively. reducing the risk of osteoporosis and related conditions. Protein is another critical benefit provided by dairy and fortified alternatives. After 40, muscle mass begins to naturally decline, a process known as sarcopenia. Adequate protein intake slows this process by supplying the amino acids needed for muscle repair and growth. A glass of milk or a serving of Greek yogurt provides high-quality protein that is both easy to digest and effective in supporting lean muscle tissue. This protein not only aids in preserving muscle strength, but also contributes to balance and coordination, which are vital for preventing falls and injuries as one ages. Dairy products also deliver phosphorus and potassium, minerals that work in tandem with calcium to strengthen bones and regulate muscular function. Phosphorus combines with calcium to form the rigid mineral matrix that makes bones strong, while potassium helps neutralize acids in the body that can leach calcium from bones. By including foods like cheese, kefir, or fortified non-dairy beverages in the diet, individuals are ensuring a steady supply of these supportive nutrients that protect skeletal and muscular health. Another often overlooked advantage of dairy and fortified alternatives is convenience and versatility. They can be consumed in a variety of ways, from a simple glass of milk to being incorporated into smoothies, sauces, or baked dishes. For individuals who may be lactose intolerant, lactose-free dairy products or fortified plant-based alternatives offer the same nutritional benefits without discomfort. Fortified options are particularly valuable because they often include added calcium and vitamin D, ensuring that even those who avoid traditional dairy can still meet their nutritional needs for bone and muscle support. Weight management is another factor closely tied to bone and muscle health, and dairy can play a role here as well. Research suggests that adequate intake of calcium and protein from dairy helps regulate body weight and body composition, reducing fat accumulation while preserving lean mass. This is especially important after 40, when metabolism tends to slow down and maintaining a healthy balance between fat and muscle becomes more challenging. By including appropriate portions of dairy or fortified alternatives, individuals can nourish their bodies while keeping their weight in check, reducing strain on bones and joints in the process. When we reach the age of 40 and beyond, every choice we make about food becomes an investment in our strength, vitality, and independence. Bones and muscles form the very framework that carries us through life, and by nourishing them with the right foods, we give ourselves the gift of resilience and energy for years to come. Each bite of wholesome, nutrient-rich food is not just a meal. It is a step toward a future where we continue to move with confidence, live with freedom, and enjoy the moments that matter most. The power to age with strength is already in your hands, and it begins on your plate.